You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined.
All right, everyone. Yep. Welcome to the Village of Wappingers Falls second monthly meeting. Mayor and Board of Trustees. Today is Wednesday, July 29th. Please stand for the pledge.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mayor Hubert. Absent. Trustee McCormick.
Here.
Trustee Cemento.
Here.
Trustee Sereno. Trustee Nesnick.
Here.
Trustee Vanka.
Here.
Trustee Tilishak.
Here.
Village Attorney Lindars.
Here.
Can I have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
I'd like to allow Trustee Nesnick to make a statement at this point.
Hello, everybody. All right, I'm going to read you a statement. As you know, we have a public hearing that's going to occur after this statement. So the board, everybody was looking for some of the reasons why the board was even considering dissolving the water board. So this is a statement. Okay, it's a little lengthy, so just bear with me. I would like to take a few minutes to discuss the issue that led the village board to consider eliminating the Water Board of Commissioners. After I view these points, we will open the public hearing so that everyone has an opportunity to respectfully share their comments. Once everyone who wishes to speak has an opportunity to do so, the board will recommend keeping the public hearing open until our workshop meeting on August 26th at 6 p.m. This will provide the public with a final opportunity to offer comments before the hearing is closed. Quickly, I want to address a concern that I have heard from some residents. This proposal is not eliminating the water department or shutting down our water plant. This is solely about the governance structure of the Water Board of Commissioners. So we've had some people have been concerned that it has to do with our actual water plant closing, and it does not. You okay? We would like to take this opportunity to discuss some of the issues that have led us to consider the potential dissolution of the water board. Before addressing those concerns, I want to make it clear this consideration did not come from a single event or decision, but rather from ongoing challenges related to stability and difficulty maintaining adequate water board membership. Following our organizational meeting in early April, it became apparent that the water board did not have enough members to effectively operate. By April 20th, an emergency meeting was necessary to appoint additional members to ensure the board could function. The individuals appointed were current trustee John Tilishak and Fire Chief Jordan Fear. Following these appointments, discussions began regarding the best path forward for the village, and we started reviewing available options. At this time, we are still evaluating all possibilities. We recognize that some residents have expressed interest in serving on the water board, and those options are being considered as part of our overall discussion. No final decision has been made regarding the future of the water board at this time. I also want to address information that has been circulating through social media and other outlets. The consideration of dissolving the water board is not related to online speculation or claims that the board intends to seize, steal, or improperly use water fund resources to cover overspending in the general fund. This accusation is false. The village board's responsibility is to evaluate the structure and operation of our municipal services and determine what option best serves the residents for the village moving forward. Our discussions are focused on stability, accountability, and ensuring the continued delivery of reliable water sources to our community. Next, I would like to address what we believe are concerns stemming from misinformation regarding the village's water finances. Over the past several years, we have experienced challenges in retaining a village treasurer and maintaining stability in that position. As a result, there has been uncertainty due to inconsistent financial reporting and a lack of complete information. But this does not result in careless spending. Lost my place for a second here, so. There have been questions regarding the interfund transfers. The reason for those transfers were clearly explained during our April 29th Village Board meeting. There have also been public statements suggesting that the Village Board has improper intentions regarding the water fund. I would like to clarify a few of these facts. And basically what I'm going to talk about is the process in which the water bills are paid. Whether or not the water board exists, the water fund remains separate from the village general fund, just as the sewer fund and the garbage fund are maintained separately. The village board has always been responsible for approving the annual water budget. The water board administrates the budget within the limits established by the village board. Water department vouchers are received and signed by the water board commissioner before being submitted to the Village Board Finance Committee for review and approval. Those vouchers are then included with the total warrant, which is approved by the full Village Board during its regular public meetings. For as long as I know, this has been the process, and the Village Board has always been in control of the water fund. All right. Now, I'd like to have get into a little bit of the considerations as to what brought us here. The current village code does not clearly define the powers and duties of the water board. Eliminating the separate water board would create a single governing body responsible for all village operations. This would increase accountability by placing responsibility with one elected body, improve communications, and establish more consistent policies across all village departments. Simplify communications between residents and village leadership. Make it easier to coordinate grant applications and pursue fundings and opportunities. Enhance transparency by ensuring that water system decisions are discussed during regular village board meetings, which are recorded and available to the public. Reduce administrative costs by eliminating the need for a separate water board while maintaining the same level of service. Eliminate the monthly stipend paid to water board members. Okay, so those are some of the things we're looking at. It's also worth noting that every current member of the water board has an affiliation with the village board. Members are either current or recent village board members or employed or employees of the village. With that being said, a resident recently asked me who the village board asked me who on the village board has experience to run a water plant. And I got to be honest with you, that got me thinking a little. And as I'm looking down on our board, Rick Serino has served on the board for several years. The mayor has served on the board for several years. Trustee Tilishak is currently on the board. I served on the water board for over 2 years. I'm also a member of Tri-Muni, as Rick Serino is a commissioner of Tri-Muni, and Donnie has also served on the water board for many years. So that's just something that I wanted to point out, that there are not that this is part of our decision, but there are people that have served multiple years on the water board that are on this current village board. I just wanted to also take a minute to say, well, at the last board meeting, I misspoke when I said that the statement would be posted within a week. Really not misspoke. I did intend to make that statement, but when we decided to keep this meeting open, I figured it would be better. I wanted it to come here and say it myself. Charlie, can you act professional for a second with the smirking?
Really?
Yes. My response on Facebook post yesterday was simply to provide clarification to the residents that we were going to have this statement said tonight, okay? I would also like to make it clear that village business moving forward will not be conducted through personal social media pages. Village matters will continue to be addressed through our public meetings, official village communications, and our website. Residents are and always will be encouraged to reach out to any member of our village board with questions, concerns, or comments. Additionally, as you will see later on in tonight's agenda, the village board will be moving forward with hiring a company to redesign our website. Our goal is to create more user-friendly platform and better serve both our residents and Village Hall by ensuring that information is shared through the proper and official challenge, okay? The only other thing that I skipped over here that I wanted to share with you is currently we are the only municipality in Dutchess County that has a separate water board of commissioners. Not only are we the only one in Dutchess County, and don't quote me on this, but I believe we are one of the few in the state of New York. So Dutchess County, I'm sure of. The state of New York, I'm not. So we appreciate everyone taking the time to participate in this process. We encourage all comments and ask that everyone speak respectfully so that all viewpoints can be heard. Your input is an important part of this public hearing, and the board will carefully consider all comments before making a final decision. Thank you.
Really quick, before we get into the public comment and the statements on the public hearing, I have a timer up here for 3 minutes. We'll keep it at 3 minutes. I'll try to prop it up so you can see how much time you have left. Once the 3 minutes is done, that's good. All right. Any questions? Cool.
Just step up, say your name and your address, and then you'll have 3 minutes. At this time, we're going to open it up for public comment on agenda items only.
Ken Cruzy, Park Street. I'd like to address the fact that Code 148 actually does address what the duties and responsibilities are of the water board. I'm not sure if you were ever able to look at it, but it is in there. So just so you know.
There are also other things that are unclear that need to be,
Well, that's fine. I'm just letting you know that currently there is those duties and responsibilities within that code itself. The second thing is you've had in this meeting people that have interest in serving on the board. That is the water board, of course, that have no involvement on the village. So I think you should definitely consider that moving forward. And lastly, there are water boards throughout Dutchess County. Dutchess County Water and Wastewater has a board. City of Poughkeepsie has a board with the town of Poughkeepsie as well, just so you're aware of that. And, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
All right.
Next.
This is on the agenda, right?
Yes,
Not for the public hearing.
this is on about the water board.
Comments on the agenda items only.
Yeah, so there's.
We're going to
no
open the public
comment.
hearing in a second.
Oh, this, okay.
This
I'm
is just for
sorry.
the, no, you're all good, all good.
Lauren Evans, 2577 South Avenue. By appointing yourselves as a Board of Water Commissioners, how do you intend to provide independent oversight of water funds, and who holds you accountable when financial
Again, this is, I'll give you your time back, but this is only on the agenda items, not the water board yet. This is,
the whole statement. So
yeah, but we're doing public comment on agenda items first. And then we're going to open the public hearing for comments on the water board, which I know everyone's here for. This is only on agenda items, though. I mean, I know the whole first page and a half is about the public hearing, but this is for,
can I get an agenda, please? I don't see.
here.
Are there any comments on anything other than the public hearing?
Hold on, because we don't want to dismiss it if we don't even understand what we're supposed to say.
If there are no more comments, can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Here, I'll give him a little bit too.
Oh,
So for the up to discussion tonight, it's about the boathouse contract, village elections, discussion about Wappingers tree and bench donation program, discussion of public hearing, and the EPA, event that's going on tomorrow. And then an approval of an art exhibit at the Senior Center highlighting America's 250th anniversary on canvas.
Charlie?
Oh, and the resolutions as well for the website.
Charles Ferry, I live in the 3rd Ward. My only question is, with the executive session, is a thing marked here, police chief versus commissioner. That is not a personnel issue. I don't know why it's on executive session. If you're changing a position, the board intends to change a position from a police commissioner to a police chief. That's something you'll be discussing in public.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about who you're going to hire to that position is something different. But I've heard no public discussion on chief versus commissioner.
Right.
But it's always on the executive session, so I don't understand why it's in there.
This, I believe, tonight we're conferencing with our labor attorney on that. So that's the only thing.
The village elections, is that
Yeah,
accessible?
please.
Thanks for walking me through. I'm Jessie Gormazano. I live at 7 Upper Henry. And the village elections, I am confused why we aren't reaching out and getting support from the Board of Elections to run our local elections. They do it for free. They are very, very, very well equipped.
We actually did.
Oh, you
last
did?
year, and they told us no unless we switched it to November.
Which
Which is, I think, a really good trade-off. I mean, that doesn't feel like we're losing a lot there.
I made that is the discussion that we're going to have.
yeah. So this is just the comment. So I'm so sorry.
I wanted to just name that I think it makes so much sense.
Right.
It's going to cost us less money. It costs us as taxpayers a lot of money to run those elections ourselves. Or I don't know a lot, but every dollar counts these days. And if the Board of Elections is very well equipped and does this for most municipalities in Dutchess County, to me it's a no-brainer. And so I want to just say I think it makes a lot of sense. And I'm in full support of leveraging a well-equipped resource in the county to do a job that taxpayers have to pay for.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other comments on the agenda for tonight?
can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Make the
I'll make the
motion.
motion. Second.
Rick. All in favor? Good. Aye.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The public hearing is now open. This is discussing the water board. Now everyone can jump up. Race for the mic.
Stephen Pullet, 65 Mizzier Avenue South. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for explaining the why. The comment on that is, had we heard that before tonight, it would have taken some of the animosity out of all of this. So that was kind of a misstep. But we'll just thank you for bringing that out. One of the things that came up was a discussion of consistency. My feeling is, and a couple of the people I've spoken to, is with the board being in charge of the water department. Right now, as you pointed out, there are people here that have a background and knowledge of what goes on. Every time there's an election, somebody could change and they might not have the knowledge. We could end up with elections and much less knowledge about the water department and how it runs. If you have a board and it's consistent, you don't lose talent. The talent stays. And if somebody's going to leave, you usually know ahead of time. And you can start saying, okay, John Doe is leaving. We need to look at getting that spot filled. Is there anybody we can consider? It keeps it consistent. To me, taking that out of the mix of people constantly coming and going through elections on the board constantly changes who's in charge or overseeing the water department. So my feeling is try to get the talent. My understanding is there's people that are interested in joining the water board, becoming part of it. I think that's a good thing because then there's consistency, and as long as they keep the board, the village board, in the loop as to what's going on, good to go. Thanks for your time, and thank you again for the info.
Thank you.
It's turned off.
Good evening, Stephen Plank, 69 East Main Street, Village of Wappingers. I think just for a point of clarity, are we to understand that if this body assumes responsibility of the water board, that you're not going to collect that stipend?
No, we will not.
We can. I don't believe we are allowed to. No.
So just for anybody that's listening that doesn't know, that's $233 a month. That's the money that they're trying to save, $233 a month per person. And I guess my other question is, since I was a water board commissioner in April, everything that you discussed as reasons for wanting to take over the water board, we were working with the village attorney to implement. And we had been working on it for 4 months, maybe 5. So why cut us at the ankles and try to do the job yourself? Why not just let us finish what we were doing? Because I didn't hear anything that we weren't already in the process of doing ourselves.
No disrespect, Steve, but you're not here.
That doesn't answer the question. Why cut the water board, the existing water board, at the knees when it's something that they had been working on with the village attorney for 4 or 5 months? Everything that you listed is in Article 4. It was in the drafts. It was being discussed at the water board meetings. And when it comes to the vouchers that you mentioned, that is true. The water board gets vouchers at the beginning of every meeting, and we're asked to basically approve payment of the bills before it gets sent up the ladder. That part is 100% true. But what is a little misleading is we never saw the vouchers or the receipts or any bills for that hundreds of thousands of dollars that this board, before you got here, of course, Jen, that this board had taken from the water department. We never saw those vouchers. And we had been asking for over a year for those receipts and those bills. So to say that that's another reason, it's kind of misleading because that information never got to us. And those of you that were here when I was there, you know how frustrating that was for me. I didn't hold back, because if you expect me at the time to approve payment of the bills, well, I need to know how much money's in the account so that when the checks are written, I actually know what those checks are going to clear. I mean, it's just common sense. So I while I appreciate the answer and the information, I think a little bit of it's just a tiny bit misleading to the public. Thank you.
Lauren Evans, 2577 South Avenue. A consolidation of power like that is a major red flag for the governance and public oversight. The board and water commissioners were intentionally designed as a separate appointed body to act as a check and balance of the village board. Dissolving that board and shifting its responsibilities direct to the village board of trustees concentrates both financial control and administrative authority within the same group of people. When the board of trustees absorb the water commission, they effectively become the overseers of their own decisions. This is no longer an independent body of auditing or questioning where utility revenue goes. Having the same individuals rotate through the key positions or collapse multiple boards into one limits fresh perspectives and prevents meaningful scrutiny of past financial choices. Without a separate commission safeguarding water funds, it becomes much easier for the water board to siphon utility revenues into the general fund without any responsibility, as seen in the past, to cover budget deficits or mismanaged expenses. By appointing yourselves as the Board of Water Commissioners, how do you intend to provide independent oversight of the water funds, and who holds you accountable when financial discrepancies arise?
Good evening. I'm going to read my statement. Bear with me. Tonight, you're asking residents of this village to hand over complete control of our water and sewer funds to this board. Before any trustee votes to eliminate independent citizen oversight, please look honestly at the track record of this board and its limitation when it comes to fiscal oversight. Just a couple of months ago, an inadvertent error double charged $392,000 to the water principal of interest lines. Then, at the July 8th meeting, the board quietly transferred that $392,000 into the water contingency line, effectively creating a brand new $392,000 slush fund. Think about that. The 6 people asking to take over total control of our utility bonds are the exact same people who completely missed a $392,000 accounting error just weeks ago. When you combine that $392,000 inadvertent error with the state controller's scathing June 2026 follow-up audit, which highlights ongoing financial oversight deficiencies in this village, it's crystal clear. This board is in no position to take over fiscal oversight of our water and sewer operations. If that fiscal mismanagement isn't enough, let's look at what else is in this local law. I'm going to read for you section 14838. It is hereby amended to read as follows. The purpose of making any inspection to discharge the duties imposed by this chapter, the Water Board Commissioners and the County Health Office shall have the right to enter upon premises of any customer. Every customer, as a condition of continued water delivery to the premises from the village water supply, shall be considered to have stated their consent to the entry upon their premises by any member of the Water Commissioners, or their agents, or the County Health Office. Now, unlike neighboring municipalities that mandate advance written notice, limit entries to reasonable business hours, or require explicit owner consent, this law gives vague, unchecked authority and steps onto private property. In short, this board is asking residents to sign away their constitutional property rights in exchange for zero accountability. If this board had a track record of fiscal precision and a deep respect for transparency, maybe we wouldn't be standing here in opposition tonight. When you create a $392,000 contingency slush fund out of accounting mistakes, ignore state audit warnings, and draft laws that strip away property protections, you don't earn the public's trust. Keep the water board independent, keep citizen oversight, and trustees, please vote no on this law.
That was good. Right under the wire. That was great.
Anyone else?
Katie Pettit, West Street. Is there any guarantees that that money won't, that's in the water department or whatever, be used for anything else? Or is there always a chance that you guys can move it to something else?
Water funds are water funds.
It's a what? So you're saying, like, if you're short on another line, you're not going to take money from the water
Right.
and put it on that line that's
Water funds are put in water funds, garbage,
and
sewer,
that's a guarantee.
sewer.
You're not just like it's something
No,
that's
they're
in the law.
separate.
There's no guarantee.
Separate.
There is or there isn't a guarantee.
No,
There's not a
it's
guarantee.
complete. No, it's completely separate. The water fund's the water fund.
Okay.
General fund's the general fund.
Because I think that's everybody's concern. I think everybody's concern is that you're going to take money from there and put it somewhere else, which is a valid concern.
That is absolutely valid concern. But no,
And like I said, I think it's just like the last time I was here a couple meetings ago, it was so like you were being nefarious. Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like I think if we had like you said, that
Statement and
the
every-
statement
right.
ahead of time, then people wouldn't get up in arms and have all these conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So that's all I've got to say.
Well,
Okay.
some would, but
Appreciate it.
most of us won't.
Good evening.
My name is Angela Niosi. I live in 23 South Gilmore. I have a problem. I don't know who's in charge in the garbage. Oh, you are. This month, my regular garbage got collected twice. Next month, I'm not paying the bill because I had to take my garbage, bring it to my cousin's house. Okay, when I call a Royal Company, nobody answers.
I'm just gonna pause this time really quick. Is this about the water board?
No, that's the garbage.
Okay. Once we do our closing statements, you obviously have your platform to speak. But right now, this is only concerning the water board. I'm sorry. I really do want to hear what you're saying, but we'll do it I promise you. Thank you.
Anyone else about the water board? The public hearing?
Two more people, one there, one there.
Donnie Trabucco. I live at 2566 South Avenue. And I just would like to say that it's pretty obvious that no one here is in favor of this. So I don't see how, if you're elected to represent us and nobody wants it, I can't see how you can vote yes on it. That's all.
Aki Mizaki, I live at 18 Adams Street. I have a home on 48 Mill. I just want to know, why would you want to come into the homes? For what reason on that law? What is the reason for it?
Currently, the water board can do that.
It's already there.
It's already
That-
there.
that was
It's
the-
not.
It's in your code. That's not a change. So that was.
That already
kind of a misleading
exists.
statement. That exists right now in your code.
The
There was
water,
other verbiage changed in that paragraph.
not us right now.
The water board and the water operator, if you check the code, that section, that is how it exists.
Why? Because our meters on the outside of the homes. Why else would you want to come in to look at what?
I know that there have been some houses that have intakes past the meter. Have intakes past the meter, so that would be one reason. But currently, the Board of Trustees cannot go into your home. The Water Board of Commissioners are able to do so.
And that's.
And I'm
not
sorry, I'm
something
talking during your time. I'm sorry.
That's something that's already existing.
Yeah, Kathy, there's been some, over the years, there's been some residents that did illegal hookups, bypassed the water meter. And
You know.
it's kind of an irregular occurrence, though.
Yeah, but you know from years past, you were a trustee back in the 80s.
90s.
And 90s. And, if you, was that me?
That's not you, don't. Is that her 3 minutes?
No, that's no.
Back then, you were a trustee, you couldn't hold the position on the water board, correct?
Pardon?
If
You
were-
got
if
cut off by the music
I
here.
know, me too. If you were a trustee back in the 90s, you weren't supposed to hold a position on.
Correct. Correct.
Because you couldn't, it was like, they said double dipping.
Right.
You got paid to be a
But I think we've had
and you
trustees on.
got paid to be on the water. board.
Correct.
And that's when we stopped all that. And it changed.
That
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Thank
Next.
I'm new. I'm here about 2 years, but I'd like to know why you want control, if I missed that.
You did. You
Is
did.
there a reason for that?
If you'd like, I can give you a copy of this.
There was a statement, you can read it, if you like. That's the right one.
Next.
So is it illegal to take the money, or you just won't because it's not? Like if you, let's say for whatever reason.
It's not legal to,
It's not legal.
Yeah.
it's not legal.
Okay, that's all.
So is it,
Separate from the general funds, and they have to be, it's,
is it my understanding that the hearing's going to be open now until
The hearing will be open until August
26th?
26th.
so let's just make sure that nobody else has any other comments on the water law amendment. If there's no comments today, then there will be a motion to adjourn the public hearing to
August 26th
August 26th
at 6 p.m.
at 6 p.m.
Is that when it's gonna be decided?
That is when we're going to field your final comments, and then
Gonna be decided?
will it be decided that day, or is it the next meeting after?
It's really, that's up to the board.
Up to the board. I would like to see it the meeting after, but
I'd like to see it tonight. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
just so that way we can get people who weren't here tonight if they would like to come up.
Again, the statement, I believe the statement was presented and it was read out loud tonight, so it would, we're adjourning it one more date for people to obtain that statement if they want and digest what it is and make any further comments as to what is the proposed local law.
I mean, at the end of the day, you guys can do whatever you want. Regardless of what.
Yes, but I was also
I think we have
gonna
to,
say that if
well, yeah,
anybody
that we
has
could, but
anything
we have to close the public hearing first before we make a decision.
you can email us. So that way, because that's how we get the information, how people feel. Because he's absolutely right. We're elected officials. We should do what our.
No, she commented on the
want us to do.
agenda.
You know, so, and that's what's guiding us.
One meeting, everybody.
All right, let's have one meeting.
So this is all, I'm here soaking things up and learning. Jesse, 7 Upper Henry. The question that is just sort of rattling around in my brain that I'm a little confused about is in the presentation or the statement, which I really appreciated, I was confused by the statement of like the absence of a treasurer and the high turnover did not result in improper handling of funds. And that's just hard to.
That's not what I said.
Oh, could you read the thing you said?
Yes, that's not what I said. Overspending of funds.
It did not result in overspending. There were
So,
failures on the
There
part
were,
of.
there were definitely failures on the distribution of the money once it came in and where it needed to go. But there was no money spent that shouldn't have been spent.
Okay.
So guys, this is not a question, this is not a question and answer session, by the way, okay? I made the statement earlier, everybody can come up one time and make your statement, but other than explaining it, when we turn around, there are funds. When funds come in, the thing that happened that people were confused or people were putting Facebook posts out that we took $75,000 or $700,000 or whatever the amount was and transferred it all at once. That happened because one of the previous treasurers didn't keep up on shifting the money from one account to the other. So then what had to happen was a new treasurer came in, identified all the problems and identified all the monies based off the warrants that needed to be moved from one department to another and fixed it. It resulted in a high amount of money that was moved. Okay, so I'm going to answer that question for you, but I don't want this to turn into a question and answer. And if you go back to the April 29th meeting, which I stated earlier in my response as well, that was fully explained by the treasurer during that meeting.
I think that brings to my other comment, and I'm so excited to hear there's going to be investment made in a better communication, better website, because I do think so much of the breakdown happens because it's very hard, even for somebody who I consider myself somewhat like internet savvy, born in the 80s, but it's still quite difficult. It can be kind of opaque and obtuse to find the information that we need.
We're going to go over that later.
Right, and I think it is also connected to The fact that there is an appetite, or there was at one point, it sounded like an appetite to have strong candidates for the water board to raise their hand and come forward. And I do think that that is maybe part of the problem, is that I didn't know that. I didn't have that awareness, and that's on me, sure, but I think it might also be a symptom of the challenges that are in place around communicating important information, getting information in our hands at the right time. So it feels somewhat connected, right? This lack of transparency, communication that's made, but we don't quite know how to find it or get to it. And then problems persist, people get confused. We make up stories to help us make sense of things that are hard to understand. And people who might actually be well positioned to help address the problems don't get the information and aren't in a position to be able to maybe come forward and help alleviate the burden and the problems that a lot of the people are addressing now, which is we want fresh eyes. We want to have generational wisdom passed down. We want to have a strong pipeline of people who are informed and capable, right? And not rely on a concentrated group that may not want to hold these positions forever. And so where's the pipeline to ensure that we have people in place that can do the jobs that the village desperately needs done well?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
If I could just say real quick, in the comments earlier, I just want to rephrase this. How we got to even discuss this was the challenges that we had filling the water board positions. Okay, that's how this all came about. We had no what? Excuse me. We had to have an emergency meeting to appoint commissioners, which were people that worked for the village and a fellow trustee, to keep the water department operating. So that's where this discussion started. Since this has come to light and we started to discuss this, people have stepped up, and that's all being considered now. So people have keep mentioning that throughout your statements throughout the night. We are aware of that. We are aware that people are stepping up, and that's going to be part of our decision going forward. So,
And if I may, anyone who's interested in serving should reach out to your trustee, or you can reach out to me.
We have a Google form that we've been fielding applicants for it. I can put it back up on, there's a tab on the village website that says, I think it's news, village news. I can put it up there. You can click on it, fill out your name, your address. If you're interested, by all means.
Would it be possible to put it in the water bill?
We could probably put a QR code or something like that. Yeah.
Things of that nature.
Or like a paper survey. I'm sure.
just
Yeah, that'd be something.
Water, or the village board is looking for, individuals who,
I don't see a problem with that. I think that can be
we
done.
hand it out for concerts and so on and so forth. So what better way? All the residents are, getting a bill. So.
Good to go. Thank you.
Is there any reason for the objections on using social media to transmit information? I feel like that's the world that we're in right now.
I agree. A lot of people don't have access to social media, so we use the village website as well. We can start utilizing social media more for official statements and official.
I feel like with the
We have a lot.
algorithm and social media, it will determine the zip code and where you are and push out the information for you. It's a free, organic way for you to get information and stuff out there. Even when you have an event, if they know that you're in the area, it'll pop up. It'll pop up a meeting, it'll pop up different things. All the other towns and villages are using the social media to get the information out there. The town of Wappingers does a great job. I was able to know that they had a summer camp specifically because it popped up on my feed because they saw that I was in
the area. Okay.
So using the algorithm in your favor to get the information out there is probably the best thing. It's very easy to post on one platform and then have it post on all platforms. You don't necessarily have to go into Instagram.
No, yeah, you can post it right from Instagram to Facebook. Yep.
Connect them all, and now you have multiple resources where that information is being fueled depending on proximity and zip code to the people when it pops up on their.
We will take that into consideration.
Well,
Thank you. I
just for
appreciate it.
clarification, it was spoken that we won't be doing things on websites and Facebook pages. We meant ones that aren't official to us. That's what was
Personal
meant.
versus village.
Right,
Yeah.
so we are in the midst, the gentleman hopefully will be starting next week. We hope to be done by September. It actually has been spoken to him about creating that as well. Our immediate need is to set up our page, our homepage. So that's what he'll be working on first, and yes, we will be going into other avenues, but they will be the villages specific. Okay?
Is there any further comment on the
water, actually.
water
We're
board?
getting a little off base.
The water law.
Like, this has been going on for months, that you needed, members for the water board. How come you didn't publicize that, like you put, you need part-time police officers or highway or anything in the shop or any of this? Like, Ken had a good idea of putting it in your water bill.
Yeah.
For a lot of people read the shop too. Yes.
Southern Dutchess.
Yeah, Southern Dutchess.
They don't have any more, just exist.
Yeah, they do. I have the northern Dutchess.
Any other questions on the water?
Is this an opportunity to ask a question of whether or not you're gonna get rid of the, senior discount on water and?
That's not the topic of conversation tonight.
But at the end,
At the end, you can absolutely ask. Once we close this public hearing and we do final discussion items, you can make a statement, but again, it's not going to be, are you going to do it? You get to make your statement.
Any more comments on the local law, proposed local law? Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, the public hearing to August 26, 6 p.m.?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
All right. Committee and department reports now.
Okay, next. Authorization to pay bills as per approved warrants.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Accept the resignation of Officer U.S. number 42, effective August 10th.
Make the motion.
Second.
Who seconded that? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Treasurer report. Treasurer Pendleton.
Good evening. So I did submit my monthly treasurer report for the month of June of 2026, which consisted of a recap of our payroll for June. We also recapped the accounts payable, or what we cleared from our utility clearing account in June. We did not have any debt payments paid out in June. And then I also included some of the ACH payments that cleared that did not filter through accounts payable. And then I also did include a budget to actual for June along with my submission. We were able to get the GL financial entries done for payroll for last year. So that is now reflected on last year's budget for payroll. And yeah, that's all I have for tonight. If anyone has any.
Thank you.
Thank you. Police Commissioner Fisher, police report.
He is unable to
Actually
make
out.
it tonight.
It's gonna be Sergeant Buden.
Good evening.
So this is the statistics for the Village of Wappinger's month of June for the police department. It's going to be total calls of service, 634. That's going to be broken down by shift, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m., 194, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 221, and 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., 219. Total arrests for the month of June, 15. Traffic tickets, 278. Parking tickets, 72. Larcenies, 4. 0 drug complaints. Let me just break down those traffic tickets also before I get too ahead. Traffic tickets by tour, it's going to be 12 a.m. to 8 a.m., 72, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 108, and 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., 98. 30 motor vehicle accidents, 11 domestic disputes, 18 burglar or hold-up alarms, 8 calls to assist other agencies, 7 other disputes or fights, 2 use of force incidents, 556 other service calls.
Thank you.
Thank you. Legislative, Trustee Cemento.
Currently, we are working on putting 2 stop signs on Prospect and East Academy Street. That was brought up 2 meetings ago, I believe it was. So we're currently working on that. That is what we have for legislative.
Highway, Trustee, or Superintendent Nicholas. I didn't mean to promote you.
Sure, thanks, John. Of course, one of our big things lately is removal of debris after all the storms we've been having. We're working on catch basin repairs and manhole repairs, and we have a vendor coming in to try a new product. He's going to repair our manhole that's collapsing for free. So we're going to try that product. He says it sets up faster. We've been putting the strips of white down on the stop lines, and I know we're going to try, Trustee Tiloshak, of putting some more striping. We've started discussions with that about better traffic control on East Main Street. CHIPS money, by my record keeping, and I'm going to meet with the treasurer soon, is we spent $128,000 and we have about $19,000 left of CHIPS money this year to spend. And I should be able to spend that. We finished.
Excuse me, just for the public to know, when he says CHIPS money, that's it's a acronym for Consolidated Highway Improvement Projects throughout the municipality. So when you see blacktopping and whatever, it is quite possible that some of that is being paid by CHIPS money.
CHIPS
The
is
reimbursement.
just reimbursement from the state. So
Right.
basically, it's not out of our taxpayer dollars.
Right.
That's why we like to spend every penny that they give us on a yearly basis. So we did finish Laverne, paving that. Goring and the upper section of Prospect was pretty bad. Nelson, we did some catch basin repairs on Nelson. We piggybacked of Central Hudson has finished their work on Roy and the lower part of West Street. They only did half of the road there, so we paved half of it. We did have a really big water leak on Liss Road a couple of evenings ago. Brian shaking his head, he lives on Liss Road. So yeah, we had a little mud stream running down that road. So in the DOT, in response to all the accidents at the traffic light beginning of the park, put a double arrow sign there to try to help. They did a nice job of hiding it up against a telephone pole, utility pole, so it doesn't, you can see the double arrow without it being intrusive. So I thought they did a good job there. So again, we've been adding road stripes. I want to add more. We did sell at auction the old Ford F-250 pickup truck. There was an issue with the Tahoe. I have to relist that. And ironically and interesting enough, and I mention this because this is odd, we actually had a very productive state meeting. They gave us some useful information.
That's surprising.
Say, about MS4. So yes, so I was happy for that.
So,
Thank you.
if you have to put that Tahoe back out for auction, is there anything else that we can put out at the same time? Like that,
The weed boat.
The weed boat, because this stuff is just sitting around, there's no sense in it.
I was going to wait for spring to put out the weed boat because normally boating stuff sells better in the spring instead of the end of the season. That's why I was going to wait.
Sits around.
Yeah, no.
We sell it, it's worthless.
And I've been watching the green growth in the creek down by the boathouse, and either it was because of the bad winter, but it's considerably less this year than it was last year.
Yeah,
so I'm
that's gonna
thinking the
be-
chemical's working.
We're going to be talking about that here.
Okay,
in a minute.
local residents have recognized it's less. My highway guys have recognized it's less. Maybe it's a nice collateral improvement, who knows? I think it is, but it could have been a bad month or two.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to represent fire? Building department.
Building department, Max issued 23 new permits. He closed out 28 permits. 24 expired. Expired permits that they got closed out of the hundreds so far is 81 for this month. Violations 11, 4 complaints, and just over 17,000 in fees collected.
Lake.
As we discussed, and this will be obviously what we talk about later on, the EPA is having a hearing. John, I'm sorry. We're having the EPA is having a hearing tomorrow at Grinnell Library. I believe it's from 6 to 8 p.m. Basically, what they're focusing on is the lower half of the Wappingers Creek. So that is after the falls, right? So it leads into the Hudson River. So that around that area. But if you'd like, please come by. That is going to be what's discussed.
Where the fencing is that goes around that room towards the train station?
Yes, towards there. But this is a super fund that the EPA has set aside funds for to do improvements on. They have an entire improvement plan. I believe we can get that PDF and have it available for you guys tomorrow or tonight even. And you can look at that in case you're interested in attending. But that's the update on the lake right there.
If I may, to add something to Lake. Yeah. Just as an FYI, the fishing pier at the foot of Spring Street was made of 3 pontoon sections. One failed, it broke. That has been removed by highway. It's down to 2, and we are looking at the possibility of replacing that pier.
Recreation, Trustee Teleszak.
Okay, recreation. This Saturday we have Swap Cycle at the VFW. Bring your stuff, take somebody else's stuff. We have Yoga in the Park in conjunction with the Business and Professional Association on August 2nd. Books and Conversation on September 18th. A Poetry Slam on October 9th. And Yoga in the Wild at the Boathouse Lawn on September 13th. Pending is we will be having our Halloween event and Christmas time celebrations coming. That's it.
Court, Trustee Nesnick.
Court's doing well. Some of the dates, we've added more court dates, and some of the original tickets that were scheduled to be heard as far out as November were heard last week, so we're really catching up on all of that. And with all the traffic enforcement that we've had, we probably are going to be looking to add an extra court date as well. So they're pretty busy.
Cobbler Building, Trustee Venka.
There's nothing to report on the Cobbler Building.
That's progress.
Residential Garbage District, Trustee Serino.
Okay, I've got a couple items here, and I'll take care of you after I give my 2 items. We have, the attorney has a 1-year extension from Royal or Casella. Now that the board is going to have to, it's a contract item, we will discuss that in executive session, but it's expired, so we need a resolution for that. And my recommendation is after we do this resolution for the 1-year extension, that we put the garbage contract out to bid, because it's been years since the contract has been put out to bid. I think the last time it was put out to bid, I could be wrong, but first time I got elected was 1994. So I think it hasn't been put out to bid since 1996 or 8. And we've been just doing these 1-year extensions with Royal. Now it's Casella because Royal got bought out. Okay, so on that item, we can discuss, because there is a dollar amount rate increase for the monthly fee for that we pay the Carter, each month.
Okay.
And then we have a item here.
Okay, the way I was saying, this month, my regular garbage got collected twice.
Say that again,
Twice.
Yeah.
They only pick the
Twice.
garbage up twice.
They pick up the garbage twice. I called the Royal Company, the number, they never called me back. So I pick up my garbage and I brought it to my cousin in La Grange.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
got a bigger truck.
Yeah.
Now, you expect me to pay you full amount when the garbage, the Royal Company didn't do their job.
Well, first of all,
Plus, excuse me, plus, you want to take the star from the senior citizens.
it's a different item. That's a
Oh,
different.
no, it is not.
All right.
It is not.
Listen, when you have a problem, you don't take your garbage to LaGrange. You call the village hall. Someone will answer the phone for garbage. We have someone who is specialized in the complaints.
Okay, I called several times and nobody called me back.
You
So
called-
I can't keep the garbage smelling on the front of my house.
You called Casella or Royal. You didn't call the village.
I did. I did call.
You called
I
the village?
leave a message, but nobody called me back. Okay? I don't even left a message to the mayor 3 times. So this month, I pick up the garbage twice. The recycle, they pick up every week. But the regular garbage, they not pick it up. This is going on, not just me, it is 23, it's South Gilmore and North Gilmore. The people, the people that pick up the recycle, he said to me, Miss Niosi, you're not alone. I just pick up 5 people, they did not pick up the garbage. Now, my container is over here, my neighbor is over here. You pick up my neighbor, you don't do mine?
All I'm gonna tell you is, since the new company came in,
No, this is going on for months.
Man, Trustee Sereno, this was supposed to be at the end. I was letting a little leniency. I
Oh,
didn't,
yes, not end.
no, that's fine. So, yeah, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Something needs to be done.
And I don't mean no disrespect, but I was in the office today when you called and you spoke to Heather.
Yeah.
I was sitting right next to Heather.
But
And she
before
called-
Heather answered the phone, I called her 3 times.
She answered your call. I was sitting next to her when she answered your call, and she immediately called Royal to put in a complaint. Actually, I think she called before you called because you might have left a message, and she assured you that your garbage would have been picked up tomorrow.
But why do I have to wait for tomorrow when my garbage is all out?
She called immediately after it was made aware to her.
I want to know why you
Like I
did
said,
not
I
picking up
understand
my
your
garbage.
frustration. I just want to clarify that Heather did answer your call. She immediately called Royal and had something done to address the problem. That's all.
Okay, this is not the first time. This is going on this month twice.
I understand. You know what? I've
So
heard it from
you
other
want me
people.
to
I
expect it to pay full amount of the garbage when you pick up my garbage twice? Come on.
She ought to be, if I may just inject that.
We need to get back on track.
She ought to be refunded for whatever time she didn't get paid.
We'll take it under advisement. Thank you.
But other than that.
So we are moving on. I'm sorry. Ma'am, I'm sorry. No. We got to keep this. Ma'am, I appreciate it. You can have your comment at the end. I really do. Our discussion items are the boathouse contract for the board. This is discussion among the board.
Wait, go back. Now, was it the police? Where were they putting the new stop sign?
Oh, that's under legislative. So we had complaints regarding on South Remsen Ave, The intersection of East.
Prospect and Elm and Prospect and East Academy. Excuse me, Remsen and East Academy.
It's Remsen and East Academy, and then Remsen and Prospect, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So though the intersection of East Academy and South Remsen, they want to put a stop sign at that corner, and then on Prospect Street and South Remsen, they also want to put a stop sign there. So we're working to see. Yes. And then South Remsen and East Academy as well. Yeah. So we're gonna see if it's feasible, if it won't disrupt traffic too much, which they're both, or East Academy at least is a one-way. So, unsure. But that was brought up, so I just want to let you all know that we're looking into that working. Okay.
All right, board discussion, boathouse. Contract.
So, we've had conflicting information regarding who actually owns the boathouse. If it's shared between municipalities, if it's only owned, what? Is this not what we're talking about? This is what I was. I understand.
I believe this is about, if I may.
People renting
Is
for the
it a
contract.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies.
This
This is
about
a different.
Yeah,
different
this is about a rental contract, I believe.
Right.
For all village properties and facilities.
We are in the process of getting together a standard rental contract for all our rentable properties, whether it be the boathouse, the Cobber Building, Vetsfield,
The gazebo.
the gazebo, Mizzier Park, so that we just want to get it all put together and have a clear contract, if, whether it's an insurance issue, get everything tied down, so if someone wants to rent something that's here, we can have a standard contract for it.
The boathouse is well, now I think we call it the Box Factory as well. They get called both things. It's right down on Market Street, so past the bleacher on Market Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I can just update the board as to a kind of form application and agreement with regards to facility uses. I am nearing a draft for that for the board. I will be circulating that draft with a number of bullet point items that we're going to have to consider and discuss with regards to putting this into action. For instance, just to kind of put some of the ideas and some of the issues that may come up were fees for the facility uses, the insurance requirements for the facilities, resident versus non-resident use of these facilities. There's a number of other different considerations that will go into how we put this form together, but I am nearing a draft that I feel is a start point for this board to start considering what that will look like, and that'll be circulated shortly, and I'll provide a bullet list of items that we should start to consider for the use agreements.
If I may, Ian?
Yeah?
Do you have an idea, shortly, can you give a week, a month, what's your ballpark idea?
Definitely before next meeting.
Perfect.
I'll have it definitely before next meeting. If I can get it out this week, it'll be out this week.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question. Who's in charge of all the village properties? Is it parks? Is it recreation? Is it the village board?
Village.
Somebody wants to rent something. Who do they go to?
It would have to go to a form on the village board. It would have to go to the village hall, the clerk.
So the administration.
The village clerk's in charge of all the facilities.
He would field the applications for usage. I mean, we used to have a semi-loose procedure where it would have to be approved by the Parks Commission, then the village board, after the application's received. This is why we need an actual solid contract to know what we're doing moving forward.
So one of the points of consideration that I did not mention, as there are others, but the administration of this is just that. Where do they go? Who's applying? Who's receiving these? Who's issuing the permit? All of that. So more to come.
All right, discussion village elections. Trustee Tillishak.
Okay. It's clear that we have a problem in the village with the residents having limited faith in the board. That's obvious. How do we fix that? A lot of people have talked to me about a lot of issues in the last couple of weeks. So I would like to ask our village attorney to re-look at something that was brought up last year to find out what would it take? Would it take a referendum or a village board vote? And this is no disrespect to anyone who has run the village elections ever. Our village clerk has done an outstanding job, and I am not suggesting any malfeasance on anyone's part, but we need to build trust. What would it require this village to do to have our elections run by the Dutchess County Board of Elections? So Ian, would you be able to investigate that and report back to this board? Would we need an election to do that? Would it be a board vote? So we can consider where we'd go. And this might require resetting the village dates because I have done some basic information. We might change our village election dates. Let's find out what we're talking about.
So I can offer a brief answer to that. Depending on each action that is taken, if you're changing who's conducting your elections, that I believe would be subject to a permissive referendum. If you are changing the date and the timing of your elections, that would also be subject to a permissive referendum. So it's depending on how the board wants to proceed on that, each action would be subject to its own referendum.
Perfect. Thank you.
I would like to hear from the members of the public and the members of the board what they think about the idea.
It was amazing.
We should. It's honestly not bad. I mean, the only thing is that you're either lengthening one term or shortening another to get to November.
Maybe we should do a
that-
public.
Public comment for this?
That's what they did last year. Do a public hearing. Yeah, I mean, we don't just.
Yeah.
Ryan,
We
that's
should.
So if the board wants to,
long-term solution.
What you said?
Worrying about that short-term issue, that's short-term. Let's focus on the long-term solution.
No, absolutely, and
Don't
that's
worry
why
about
the if it's eligible for a permissive referendum, then that would obviously be the people's choice.
Ryan, I apologize. I'm not sure I meant for a public comment discussion right now.
I don't say much, that would really
I want.
We should have a public hearing on it.
Right.
Let's put a public hearing.
Public hearing.
Let's see when we can do a public hearing.
so again, just so I can,
Oh,
so just so I can clarify,
just 1 second. Hold on.
just so I can clarify for everyone in the room. On the agenda, there are discussion items. These are discussion items for the board members to discuss. This is where they openly debate with regards to their considerations of whatever actions they may or may not be interested in taking. If they are seeking or would like to seek public comment on an issue, which it sounds like there's some interest on this issue, then there would be, the board could move to set a public hearing and schedule a public hearing. They can advertise for that, and then they can have people come in and voice their opinions, similar to the local law. You come in, you issue your comment, and then the board digests those comments and decides how they want to proceed.
Can you get more information by the 12th?
I can have a resolution by the 12th if you want.
Do you want to set a public hearing for the 12th?
Yes.
Regarding the elections?
Yes.
12th? Rick?
12th of August?
Yeah, that's.
So I'll have a resolution to
Have a public hearing on it.
Now,
Yeah.
the resolution will be to,
set a public hearing. Then that
Yes.
resolution has an official legal notice to it. That notice will get published and posted.
Just a quick question, when that notice is published and you mentioned various issues that may be concerning the residents, will those issues also be specified or be concerned? so the public knows what kind of issues you're addressing?
The public notice would indicate what the board action is looking to do with some level of description, i.e., village board would be considering, turning over the handling of the elections to the Board of Elections.
Right now, the rationale is that we're discussing it currently.
Right.
Why it even is brought up right this second.
Well, the trustee mentioned issues of concern that, with trust, so it sounds like more than one issue.
Yeah.
So will each of those issues be specified when that gets published?
Well, just there's an overall lack of trust and transparency. That's it, right? So moving these elections would be, when you go to vote in November, if we decide to move it in November, right? It would all be one shot, right? You're voting for your village officials. I believe you're voting for your town and state, depending on the year, right? Additionally, it would, where I don't know where she went. There was a young lady that came up here and talked about how the Dutchess Board of Elections does it for free, right? That I'm unsure of. I don't know, but they exist for a reason, right? They do elections for a living, so not a bad idea to look at.
All right. Discussion about the Village of Wappingers Falls Tree and Bench Donation Program, Trustee Tilishak.
In your packets, you will find it's a 3-page item. It is for donations, memorial benches to the parks. This was submitted initially, I think, 3 years ago, but it was never approved. I would request the attorney to make sure it's good and proper so we can vote on it, because we've had a lot of trees come down in the parks, and sometimes people want to memorialize family members with a bench or whatever. You can't just do whatever you want. There's got to be a system. This outlines that. Ian, do you have that?
You just got it.
So if you can take a look at that. I believe that was first brought out in, if memory serves, 2023.
All right, read it, make a decision right now.
No, we can.
I'll make some.
Let's get your opinion, then if we can vote on it at the next full meeting, so be it.
Will do, and if I have any questions, I will reach out to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Discussion, public hearing.
Hold on, just 1 second.
Are these trees just for the parks? Or where are they?
I would imagine it's only just for the parks. I don't think that there would be any reason to put it on the side of the road.
Well, this is what I was gonna bring up. Now, people just in front of their house along the curb can put all kinds of trees up.
Could be something there, but I would think that for a memorial tree, you'd want to be, maybe not,
No,
right?
I'm
But
saying they just do this on their own, just for the front of their house and stuff.
this would be a village sponsored program, so you'd go through the village to have like a nice plaque or whatever you want put up in a park.
But I'm asking you, are you allowed to put a tree between the road and the sidewalk?
I'm unsure of that. I can't answer that.
I believe I may be able to answer that.
Oh, Trustee Tilishak might have an
I
answer.
believe, as far as I know, you are able to do that. However, you're responsible for that tree. So if you put a tree that's got roots that's going to come and knock up the sidewalk or go down and block your sewer line, that is not the village's responsibility, that is your responsibility. So if you put it in, I think they're called invasive trees, that is not highway's problem, that is not water's problem, that is your problem. But as far as I'm aware, there's nothing that prevents you from putting any kind of tree there.
It sounds to me like I'm gonna have to review this.
Until you like 4 or 5 trees, and I don't know how invasive they will be, but they have grown. You come around that corner,
I know what you're talking about.
I know what, you know, you walk around.
And you can't walk on the sidewalk because all the weeds are so overgrown.
Do you have the
Thank-
address? Can you get the addresses for that?
Thank you. We'll take it. Let's go through this and then we'll take it at the end. Thank you.
I have a question or comment. I
Ryan.
know Beacon is running, a tree program where they have artists come over and look at the soil, and find a local tree that you can plant and then collectively as,
You said Beacon is doing this?
Beacon's doing it. They come out, they see what kind of tree, dig, how deep it is, look at the concrete, tell you what tree could go there, and it's part of a program that they have, and then they have professionals plant it there.
Okay.
I think that would be a wonderful program for 9D as well as going into the village. I do think it lacks a little bit of that whimsical aesthetic that
Right.
will make the village prettier, and more attractive, and it also helps, traffic studies have also shown that when you do have trees on these long things, people tend to slow down a little.
Okay.
It preserves energy,
Thank-
such in the summertime.
I
There's
appreciate
lots of
it.
studies behind
We're
the
gonna go.
traffic surveys.
Thank you. Please at the end, you'll get your 3 minutes. Just really quick. Thank you. Appreciate it. We discussed briefly about the public hearing for the EPA regarding the Wappingers Creek. Do you have anything else to add?
No, but I would encourage people to come because I have read the document, it's 31 pages. They're gonna outline what they want to do to remove the pollution that has caused, it's heavy metals, all sorts of things in the Lower Creek. It'll be tomorrow. And the public hearing period begins tomorrow and goes for 30 days. So, if we can post that, if you don't have it, I'll.
That
send it to you.
I'll post the
We'll
PDF.
post it on the village website so you can read it and see what they're talking about doing. I don't know what they're talking about doing. So I'm gonna go and find out myself.
They're focusing in their plan. They want to focus on the lower half. I would like to be there and advocate for the creek or the lake.
They're going from below the waterfalls and the intake pipe through the industrial park because the issues, I believe, if I understood it correctly, were caused decades ago
pollution
from the industrial park.
Yeah.
And that is going down. So it's going from just the second ward of the village towards the town of Wappingers, but it's all one big mess.
Okay, so that goes back quite a few years ago when there was talk about EPA or another environmental agency coming in to clean up the industrial park. Is this related to that?
This investigation was started in 2016.
So is this a follow-up to all that? And
Yeah,
they're
they
gonna
have,
do
they have a
something
proposed plan.
Okay,
else?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know. They
Tomorrow-
expect, no idea if they want to just dredge or they plan on removing, going into the park itself and removing.
After we find out tomorrow.
I had resolution on it, somebody changed it.
All right.
right.
Approval for art exhibit from the Wappinger Senior Center highlighting America's 250th anniversary on canvas.
We have a motion.
I'll make the motion. Oop,
Second.
Rose and I.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Rose did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Okay, resolution to add Connor McSorley as one of the 39-hour help dispatchers.
Make the motion.
Second.
Well, just a point of order. This is on the consent agenda, so the clerk, if you could just read all resolutions, it's one motion. It's a formality since these matters are all on consent.
We've already,
And then just
Who
just
seconded
read Rick, but
the only two things.
also read the
You only
resolution.
read one.
Read it?
Yeah, no, just read this, right? So,
Yeah. Resolution authorizing contract for redesign of village website.
Okay, so
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
aye.
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 Any opposed?
Carried.
No opposed.
Village board comments.
Go ahead. Rick has a comment.
I have one item. There will be a meeting August 5th, Wednesday, in Poughkeepsie. I don't know the time, so I suggest you call Senator Rob Rollison because this concerns the sidewalk on West Main Street. Whether the judge is making a decision or not, I don't know. But I got the call, I called him back, he called me back again to confirm. I said, well, I would like to go to this meeting if people can go. So,
So
Where?
I have a question for you.
I'm just putting it out there, so if you want to call Senator Rollison,
Well, when you talked to him, what did he tell you was
you
going
don't
on?
get to talk to him, you get to talk to an aide.
What did they tell you was going on?
They
Did
don't give you too much information.
They just said it, he was calling about.
Can I just ask,
Yes,
because I also spoke to the office too.
pull your chair back.
Okay, am I talking to you? I also spoke to the office, I spoke to Lydia, and she was gonna get back to me to see if the public can attend. So there definitely is a meeting, it is happening on the 5th.
I don't know what time.
Yeah, well, it was in the morning, I have it written down at the house, but she did not think that the public could get in and attend, but she is gonna call us back. So-
She didn't think that the public could
Yes.
attend it?
So that's the message I got. So if you're gonna call and you're gonna ask, just make sure you can get it.
Okay.
Can you just clarify what the hangup has been with the sidewalk?
Pardon?
Can you clarify what the?
It's been in litigation for the past 5 and 6 years, right?
5 3/4 years.
Pertaining to what?
Basically, people are pointing fingers at each other saying, you're at fault, you're at fault. No, I'm not at fault, right? That's just how it's been.
I
It's
can give you the
been,
Reader's Digest condensed version in about 45 seconds, what this whole thing is about. But
So there's
they've
litigation.
dragged it out for 6 years now, and it's cost the village, because we had to hire lawyers. I think at last count, clerk charge $138,000.
And growing.
And growing, $138,000. And we weren't even on site doing work at that sidewalk when it happened.
You had an inspector there,
We had an inspector.
and weren't doing their job, period.
I'm gonna recommend to the board, this matter is in litigation. It is a reason why it has been delayed, because it's been in litigation. And I would advise the board to refrain from, any discussion on it because it is in litigation.
What's the subject of the litigation?
Liability.
Whose responsibility and therefore who's gonna pay?
Was there some kind of injury or damage in the past from the construction?
They caused the sidewalk.
So they did do it in the collapse. And who owns that? I got it. Okay.
All right, any other village board comments?
so again, we're going to open up for public comment once your 3 minutes are done, or once you are done speaking. That's it, one and done. All right? Good to go?
Hi, Lauren Evans, 2577 South Avenue. The programs I was talking about prior was the Green Coalition with Beacon. There's a couple of grant resources available for the village called the New York State DEC Urban and Community Forestry Grants, as well as the New York State Green Innovation Grant Program, as well as the New York State Urban Forestry Council grants. That would allow the village to be able to fund a project like this to have more trees planted. Not only does that help through surveys, traffic surveys, that it helps people slow down with traffic. Surveys show that people decrease their speed about 10 to 15 miles per hour when you have trees and greenery that covers on both sides of the sidewalks. But it also helps with energy efficiency with the neighborhood, keeping it cooler, making the village more walkable for more residents. Also looking to see more crosswalks down 90, as I live on 90, and I would like that to be part of a discussion. There's only one on 90. Otherwise, it would be considered jaywalking, right? But how is somebody going to get to the store, or how am I across the street to get here? So this is a very dangerous situation, especially when we have kids in the neighborhood that's getting older and they're running to the store to get something to drink. We would like to see more lights like we see downtown, where they could push a button and allow traffic to go by. I understand this is a state road. I understand there's a lot of restrictions, but we do also have the ability to possibly do weight limits on the main roads prohibiting these trucks to come down this road. So by mandating or changing the infrastructure on the outside would force, obviously, for them to go around
This will also allow us for any people who did violate that to increase our revenue through tickets and high fines.
You're absolutely correct.
So I would like to see some of those issues to be brought forward and for us to have a conversation going forward and how we can make this a more walkable, livable. Me coming from Westchester, I'm very versed on this. I've served on many boards in the city of Peekskill and other boards. So this is just definitely something I think would help the village itself.
Thank you.
Wasn't that part of the original grant that we requested, that we got denied for? Yes. Was the walk,
So
was
the one crosswalk that they had a problem with too was
on 98?
they wanted to do it at the bottom of the hill, but since it's at the bottom of the hill,
Right.
you can't have a crosswalk there.
I'm talking about where she's talking about by Franklindale and by where Valero is. 'Cause
Yes,
I live right there too.
Part of that block grant.
But that was part of a block grant that we got denied for, but we're still trying.
We have been working with DOT to do a traffic.
They gave it to somebody else.
And DOT has done a traffic study. They've already told us what we know, that certain lines of sight will prohibit them
that's
on
not-
West Main
that-
Street. But we have another meeting with them coming up hopefully in the next month to find out if we can't get, we're gonna push for crosswalks. If we can't get crosswalks, if we can get traffic calming devices, bump outs, other things, possibilities. We don't know what those are. If that is public, I will reach out to you and let you know, and if you'd like to attend, that would be marvelous.
Or we could prohibit, or we could lower the weight limit on the trucks and
We
have locals
we
deliver
did
it.
we lowered the weight limit to 10,001 pounds.
Not on South Avenue.
No, because it's a state.
Tried that, too.
Yeah, we've been trying to do this. We have now officers that are certified for DOT.
Perfect.
So
So having someone there and catching them, but maybe
Absolutely.
enforcing that will force them not to try to cut through 9.
100%.
And, I mean, how long can our bridge wait with the weight?
And with the sidewalk there too, I 100% agree with
That's
you.
one of the reasons the village is not really walkable, is all these huge trucks that's coming through.
Well, it's a state highway.
Thank you.
It's not a village road, it's a state highway.
Right, but where they're coming
Yeah.
around that sharp curve.
So once
where the
they
bridge is,
enter,
like-
it's now,
It's still a state highway.
no,
Any more
And we
comments?
got to have more comments. Go ahead. Come on up.
Steve Plank, 69 East Main Street. I wanted to say thank you to Jordan Freer. He was first on the scene when my young son and his friend had their little altercation with a vehicle. So thank you to Jordan Freer, his family, and all the men and women or first responders that serve in the village. Thank you to the Highway Department for painting the crosswalks out at Remsen and East Main. Thank you to Jen Nisnik for being out there. I've seen what you're doing, getting the bushes cut down and being an advocate for that area. John as well, thank you for that. And I also want to say, Ryan, you did a great job tonight.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
You
it.
did
Don't
good.
get used to it.
You did good. You did good.
Any other comments? Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Carried.
the senior rate we weren't discussing today. That's
Yeah, okay.
okay.
Oh, we forgot.
Go ahead. Come on up.
I take it back.
Well, a little leniency here.
Howard Bennett, 8 Brown Avenue. My question is about the
Senior wa-
senior discount for water, sewer, garbage. Has there been any more consideration about that?
We're still discussing.
Because I think it's totally unfair that you would take it away. If you're gonna revamp it a little bit, you got to put out what the requirements are in order to be able to be eligible for it.
Absolutely.
The enhanced STAR program, whatever the case may be, if that's what it requires to be eligible for it, then people know what they have to do to become eligible for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
And I think that a plan should be put in place prior to eliminating the senior discount.
Absolutely. But that we're still obviously talking about it. So but thank you. I appreciate it. Motion to go into executive session. Sorry, I'll take the second one.
Just, what we have to do is,
Reformalize the motion into.
I'll make the motion to
I'll
go
s-
into executive session.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. All opposed, no?
We did, we totally were negative.
Yeah.
Bring up the water department now?